The front suspension has arrived. I ordered it from Chassis Engineering. I talked to Mike Allen. He hooked me up with every part that I need for the front end. So suspension, the cross member, coils, spindles, rotors. I did a manual steering because I really didn't want a power steering. I know, it's a nice little luxury, but this car's pretty light anyways. I don't think it's going to be that bad. And if I want to, I'll change it out later. But this is all the boxes that came, and let's move on to the unboxing part. I'm going to start with the cross member because I wanted to get into this, and obviously you got to mock that up first so that everything else can go on. Now, I'm not really concerned with the center line for the wheels because, like I said, this project's going to be more of a rat rod, so I'm not going to put the fenders or the hood back on. I just want something that's, good and sturdy and built really tough so it'll hold the motor and keep me safe. So here I am bringing out the upper part of the cross members, the towers. They're all really, really nice. They're welded together. They're all made of like 1/4 inch steel. They had to turn the screws on top there so you can adjust the height. I think it's up to like 2 inches that you can get a height adjustment on these. So I want this thing sitting on the ground. So I wanted to make sure that I had something that I could do that with. There's the main cross member. All the holes are they're really nice, and they lined up really well with the holes on the original frame. So again, welded together really good, nice and rigid. Came with instructions. The instructions were okay. They weren't, too detailed. They could use some drawings and a few more drawings, maybe some screws, because it came with two different size screws, 7/16 and 9/16. So unless you had to look at it and figure out, okay, yeah, that's obviously a small hole, so that's going to get a small screw. But this is the rear of the cross member I'm showing now. You can see it's welded really good. Everything's nice and straight, and it's built really well. One thing I would say, take these mounts and put them on top of the cross member when you get it before you put it on the car. I didn't do that. And my top towers, the holes did not line up with the bottom one. So with the bottom holes. So I had to do some little bit of fab work, which is, that's the whole game anyways, right? I didn't expect everything to fit perfectly because this thing's 80 years old. So, but here it is. I've got the passenger side one on, bolted on, drilled through, all that good stuff. What I did was I took the top towers to work, and I had my welder just fill in all the holes. So he just, smoothed them out, filled them all back in so that I can just re-drill them. Because I had already drilled the holes through the mounts, through the bottom mount and the frame. So those holes were lined up perfect and everything. It was easier just to go and have those filled in and re-drill them. So you can see I'm pointing out the holes that I drilled. Woo. So, but the bottom bracket, the bottom cross member lined up perfect with the 4 holes that it said to line it up with, and yeah, that was great. That was the only little hiccup. There is the one bracket on this passenger side was a little crooked. It was welded on a little crooked. So I had to take a grinder and grind it down. This is what I'm showing you now. So you're supposed to put 2 bolts, one here and one on the other side, but this hole is going to be too far away. So I might notch it and just put a bolt anyways, but I'm definitely going to put one back here. But I'm thinking of doing a weld across the cross member at the bottom there and maybe on the frame itself, but you can see all the bolts are in, and it's really, really strong and rigid, and I like it. So when I take it apart and I do the final assembly, that's where I'm thinking about putting welds at. Um, I'm going to use obviously Loctite, and this kit didn't come with any plain washers at all. It's only the nut, the screw, and the lock washer. So I'm going to get some washers, and I'll put some washers and put some Loctite on them on the thread and bolt it all together when I do the final assembly. I still haven't decided whether or not I'm going to paint it on the car or off the car. I'm going to paint it red. I got some Pour 15 red I want to paint it with, because I think that's going to look good with just a little bit of red on there, because the wheels that I'm buying are going to be red Steelies, so I think it's going to look pretty sharp going that route. So here I am right now. This is where I'm at. Passenger side's pretty much done. Moving on to driver next. And then we'll put the A-arms and the spindles on it and make sure that all that stuff lines up really good. And then I've got to put the brakes and the coils on and order the wheels. Once I get that, she'll be all set and ready to go. Stay tuned for the next videos.